Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on European Confessions. The following story that you're going to be listening to, it comes from a translation of a message that I received, and the translation of that message, it reads like this. Hello, Brother Nashi, how are you? Can you please post my own story as hidden identity? I am a Zimbabwean guy who is currently working here in Europe as a truck driver, and I really do not know if I will ever be able to return back home with money because of the way that I have been spending money mainly on prostitutes, and I am addicted to prostitutes that are from Ukraine as well as Russia. I love these ones that are strippers, and I'm just asking for any kind of advice on how to regain my life, because my life right now is in a very bad space and in a mess. My wife that I left back home in Zim, she is suffering because of the way that I have been misusing my money. I have this addiction, and I don't know if I will ever be able to be the man that I used to be when I was still back home in Zim. We knew how to use money and how to save money. I lied to myself and I told myself that these white women, they love us African men because we are very good in bed. But I have realized that a white woman will just pretend so that she can get into your wallet. All the money that I have been making, all of that money has been going towards these women that are strippers, and they can show you love at the time when they just want to show you that they can love you in order for you to give them money. I have wasted so much money, and some of the people that I work with, they are doing things back home. They are progressing in life, but I am stuck in one place. As for now, I have been trying to get my life back together, but it is going to take a very long time because of the financial damage that has been caused by these things that I have been doing of chasing after strippers and chasing after Ukrainian prostitutes. So this is how my story started. I arrived in Poland last year. It was in October of 2024. I was fresh from Harare. I came here, and then immediately when I came here, that was when I lost my mind. I started looking at all the white women, looking at how beautiful they were, and my mind was never prepared to see all of these beautiful white women that could smile back at you. And it was a shocker for me. You see, back home, I was just a hustler, moving car parts, small car parts, doing a bit of cross-border and helping my cousin to sell stolen iPhones. Life basically was hand to mouth. Then my cousin from Gweru, he had moved to Ireland, and then we started communicating. He then told me that, bro, Europe is soft life. Come here, you will enjoy life. And as for the European white women, they are in love with us black men. I thought that he was exaggerating until the day when I arrived in Poland. It was in October. I was used that in Africa, when we say October, it is supposed to be hot, but here it was very cold. And then that was when I got a job as a truck driver, delivering steel to Germany, Slovakia, Czech Republic. I didn't even care where I went, and I didn't even know where half of these places were. But all that I cared about was the money. The money that I was getting paid, it was 2,700 euros each and every month. My mind, I was telling myself that if I can manage to raise money, then in December I will go back to be with my wife to enjoy Christmas for the first time, popping bottles in December. But that money did not even last until Christmas, because my brother, let me tell you something. White women, they have ruined my life. My first weekend off duty, I was in Lublin, a small Polish town, very quiet. I just wanted to test. I just wanted to go to a bar. I went to that bar, which was near the truck parking lot where I was, just to try a beer. I sat at the counter. When I entered into that bar, I sat at the counter as if I was a shy white garment prophet who had accidentally walked into a shabin. Then that was when she came. You see, there is something about these white women. They are very confident. If she likes you, she will come and she will tell you. Her name was Katya, a Ukrainian woman. She had long legs as if she was a giraffe, very beautiful. She had that face that we see on Instagram filters. And as for her accent, she was sounding so sexy with her broken English. She stood right next to me and she was constantly saying naughty things, looking directly at me, smiling at me. She was like, "Hello, black man," she said. And I swear in that moment that all of my ancestors from Zimbabwe going all the way to Tanganyika, where our tribe started, they rose up, all of them, from their graves. And some of them that were buried in the caves in the mountains, they came out of their hiding places and they started to smile. All of my ancestors, they stood up in their graves and they started clapping. They were happy with me. I responded and I said, "Hello, white woman." She laughed. I was shocked, as if I had been hit by electricity when she touched my arm, because no white woman had ever touched me in my entire life. I had only greeted the agent, who was a white woman who had came to pick me up at the airport when I arrived in Europe. And she was like, "I like your color." When she told me that she liked this dark black color, I swear to you, I almost fainted. She told me that she works at a gentleman's club. I did not even care. I then told her that it was fine. She then invited me to that club. I followed her as if I was a god that had been given a salt stone, and I kept following the person that was holding that salt stone like a god. That was when we entered into this other small club, a private club that was written Pit of Hell. It had beautiful soft lights, bass music that white people love, and the perfume. It was not those regular prostitute houses that we know in Africa where it is always dirty. All of those women, they smelled so nice. And I looked and I counted and I saw 6 other Ukrainian and Polish women. They were wearing strings. They were totally naked. For the first time in my life, live and direct, I saw a white woman's cookie that I used to see in videos. My eyes, they were blindfolded. I felt like I was blinded by what I was looking at. And as for my soul, in that moment, I felt as if the Holy Spirit left my body. I paid for one dance. I paid for another, then another, then another, then another, then another. I was enjoying. If I say that I was enjoying, I will be lying to you. My manhood was smiling with everything that was going on. By the time that I finished, when I came out, oh my God, 900 euros was gone. I looked at the receipt and I asked myself, what did I buy? Did I buy something big? But I said it is okay, because down there, my manhood was happy. That was the beginning. Every week, after long hours of driving through the snow and fog, I would return to Katya and her friends. Sometimes there would be 2. One time, a threesome. At one point, I had a favorite one that was very beautiful. They used to call me Huge Elephant because they would compliment my big African asset. And I felt so happy. I did not even want to check my bank account because it was being drained by these white women. Month 2 gone, month 3. Then I was borrowing money from another Zimbabwean driver whom I will call Mike, pretending as if there was an error. I was unable to send money on my own. In truth, all of my money was going to these women. I paid another dancer whom I will call Anya. That one, we used to make love, and she told me that she loved my king energy, King Kong energy that I had in bed. So I thought that this is true love. You see, us guys that are from Africa, whenever a woman opens her legs for you, you honestly think that the woman, she wants to become your wife. In the meantime, back in Zim, my mother was sending voice notes. Manangu, we don't have Millie Meal. Ever since you left Zim, things are very hard. Can you remember us? As for my wife, Clara, she will call me daily. Tatenda, when are you going to send money for the children's fees? Jaden is being chased away each and every week. I would lie. Babe, I went to the Western Union. I have sent you money. Can you check? And I would send her fake payments. And when she would go, she would be told that the order number does not exist. And then I'll say, maybe there is a delay. All that I was thinking about was all these women that I was sleeping with. You see, I thought that I was in control. I was being played. You see, these European strippers, they know everything that they do. They know us African men. They know we are new here. They know that we come from homes where women treat sex like a sacred offering. You can only unlock an African woman's legs by promising her lobola. Here, a white woman will just open her thighs for you, even in the parking lot, and you will think that it is marriage. And they are very seductive. And when you are on top of a white woman, the way that she will mourn for you, the way that she will give you love and romance, you can even imagine relocating with a European woman back to your country in Africa. I used to imagine with this Russian woman thinking that she even wants to relocate with me from Europe back to Africa. I even saw her doing Makoti duties back in Chitungwiza in Harare, even buying a rural homestead back in the villages. But it is all business, bro. At one point, I was sending flowers thinking that I was being romantic. Flowers to a stripper. I even paid for Katie's rent and it was very expensive, thinking that it was our future. She would say, I am yours forever if you help me. I would send 1.2 euros. And then I found that she was in Ibiza with another Italian guy. I saw the photos. I screamed alone, crying, like real crying. And I was like, how could you do these things to me? By April 2025, I had exactly 23 euros in my account. This is how I found out that I had only 23 euros left. I went into this other shop. I wanted to buy some underwears because mine, they were done and dusted. I then took some trousers and a few clothes. I then went to the till I wanted to pay and the card was declining. When I checked my banking app, that was when I realized that I only had 23 euros that was left. So I live in the truck. I do shower only at fuel stations. I try to avoid all the women, but the problem is that they are very attractive. I do not want to lie to you. Even my cousin was laughing at me when I told him that there was this other woman whom I told her to sleep with me at least for free because I used to take care of her, and she told me that my manhood had led me into poverty. My cousin then said that you have become the Zim International Ambassador of Simping. I am here as I am texting to you in a truck stop here outside of Krakow in a warehouse where they are loading my truck. And this is what has happened to me. I try by all means now to help my wife back home. But to my fellow Zimbabweans in Europe that are truck drivers, please hear my cry. White women, they are beautiful, but know that they are not your inheritance. They will call you a king because they want what is in your wallet. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our brother who is saying that he is in Poland. Let us try to talk about it in the comment section.